Turn on, tune in, and do it fast. It's time for the Evercast. Are you ready to greet Ed, Rich, Crow, and Pete as they talk Evercade? Good times will never fade. Put away the switchblade, sheath the sword of Vienna. Stop the blaster master, there's no enemy below as we dip into euphoria. Turn on, tune in, and do it fast. It's time for the Evercast.
Hey, welcome everybody to the Evercade podcast. We have Crow and Pete and maybe Gandalf. How's everyone doing?
Good. The StreamYard that video didn't show up in my browser, so that update to StreamYard didn't allow the video to come up. I'm like, oh, the best part of the show is the music.
Oh man, oh man, I know, right?
Stupid Internet Explorer, whatever it is. But yeah, how you guys doing?
Great, little tired.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, actually. And
Well,
we haven't even hit the daylight savings time. That's exactly what I was going to say.
In the world that there's still daylight savings here in North America.
You know what was really funny? I was looking at some of my clocks today, and they're already an hour ahead because I never changed them back when we fell.
Now that's the pure definition of just lazy. Yeah, no, it's a stupid day. Like tomorrow, everybody loses an hour. I'm like, whoever thought that was a good idea? Like, really?
Oh, it was some guy that wanted more time in the evening for bug catching. That was the real reason he pushed for it so hard.
Yeah, probably. Some dumbass from the 1700s.
And it actually made more sense back when very few people had electricity in their houses, you know?
Well, yeah, there's like interesting stories about before the introduction of electricity, the sleeping habits of people, like where they'd sleep at sunset, sleep for like 4 or 5 hours, wake up in the middle of the night, do chores, do whatever, and then go back to bed until dawn. And that's how you get the phrase witching hour, because that's how they sleep. And then electricity came and people could stay up later. And then we got on the traditional kind of sleep through the night thing. But back in olden times, that's not how people slept. Just your history lessons for today.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's your history lesson for today.
Yeah.
Pete's History Corner.
Because I love why phrases are phrases, so I do research into it, like witching hour, right? Like stuff like that.
See, that's one I don't hear very often, if at all. I've heard of it, but I don't hear him regularly at all.
Bad stuff happen in the witching hour. That'd be a great video game premise, right?
Right.
You're good the whole day long, but in the witching hour, you get to be evil. It's like the Purge.
Are you advocating for the Purge?
Well, it's going to happen in the States sooner or later. I mean, everything mimics movies, right? Idiocracy, now the Purge. It's coming. I can see Trump doing that. Anyway. Back on regular scheduled topics. Ed, over to you.
Sure. Well, you know what? Let's say hi to the chat. We do a few things Evercade related to talk about in polls and whatnot, and we'll see if there's time to maybe look at a 1 or 2 cents off games. But who do we have? We got Spoons, we got Archive Gig, we got Lloyd JRM, we got Genejoke, we got Morley, and all that. So yeah, we definitely have some people in the house. Yeah, let's start off with some polls. I think I kind of remember what I asked people. Good Lord. This week has gone by like so quick, which is a good thing. All right, there we go.
In the house.
All right, so what nonsense do I ask people? Oh, so I don't know. I may have asked this before or not, but I always just curious to think what people.
Your poll?
Yep. Do you think SNK, we'll get SNK cards or just console, the game's built in?
Why isn't one of the options both?
What? I can't even see it. Text is so small.
Yeah, I know. I wish StreamYard could kind of make that let's see, because if we do, I don't know if that really.
Do you think
that help?
Put SN carts or just consoles with built-in games? Oh, okay. So that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
So collections.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I I misread that too.
Yeah, and so 58% of the people think we're gonna get like, we'll get everything.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's the only logical choice, to be honest with you. Past history has shown.
And then I guess some people thought that no, only limited. 24%, kind of surprised. More people think that we're only gonna get like limited edition super pockets than just carts. I thought that was kind of funny.
That would be a disaster for them if they did that.
It would be.
Good one, Gene.
What do people say? Yeah, like Gene says everything. I heard.
Actually, Gene said he needs a magnifying glass to see Ed's pole.
Well, I was gonna say, Gene, you're the one always trying to get you're the one always trying to get me wet. So when I play Tomb Raider, so.
Oh God.
That's kind of an inside joke. No, because like every time it's like, yeah, go ahead and jump underwater, swim underwater, yeah. And I think somebody said that. Oh, okay, cool. We got who snuck in? Dubs, Andre, Jay. Good morning. Good morning. And of course, I heart. But yeah, a lot of interesting things. I think majority seem to have like there's going to be carts. Only a few other people. But yeah, it would be the most asinine thing if they didn't do that.
Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be the whole works. I think the risk or the problem, probably the fear people have is like how far do they go in limiting it to consoles versus collections, right?
Yes.
Because I think if they go too far, it could be a problem.
Well, honestly, I think that anything that they have the license and the rights to put on cartridge, they're going to put on cartridge. It's only the stuff that winds up only on the hardware where they can't get the license put on a cartridge for whatever reason. So, like, even some of that Atari stuff that only appeared in the Super Pocket, I think that'll come out in cartridge eventually.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, they have a good relationship with Atari, so I can't say you're wrong with that for sure.
It seems very plausible that they would.
If they choose to do it, right? If there's a want for it, right? If they can sell a bunch. But I think Atari does quite well on their console, right? Because it's kind of the most recognizable name brand.
Yeah, I think so.
But who knows, though, really, right? Like, we don't have any data.
Yeah, again, we don't know. Yeah, what the numbers are at all.
I wish they would tell us because I want to know. Like, I predict the Neo Geo stuff will outsell all like the blue carts combined. I'd like to know that. But
you don't even know what the Neo Geo stuff is yet.
I know.
Yeah. I was gonna say if in fact it will be Neo Geo stuff, but they have said Neo Geo specifically. So
yeah. I think it's a good sign that we get dip switch support. Actually, we can talk about that. We get that like a month before, and then hopefully, at the end of this month they're going to announce SNK, and they'll come out in April. I think that's the plan. Hopefully. Yeah, let's see. Oh, and actually, I guess before we get to that, what do you guys think of the?
Wait a minute, it wouldn't come out in April because that announcement's coming at the end of March.
Is it?
So,
yeah.
So if it's at the end of the month. If we're giving a month, I wouldn't expect it till May.
Ooh.
And even then, I wouldn't expect it till May. I wouldn't expect it till like fall.
You think they're going to space out their alphas and their super pockets, right? They have to.
That'd be smart.
They can't put like alpha, super pockets, and whatever new piece of console they're gonna do this.
I think those two devices are so different from each other. They have their own most people aren't going to buy both.
I know, but it's fine if they're from a awareness perspective and kind of getting attention. They'd probably want to separate it, right?
I don't know. Maybe not. Depends.
I know.
I could see them being like, okay, here's our first Neo Geo collection. They're gonna release it on cart. They're gonna release a Super Pocket, and they're gonna release an Alpha all at the same time. I could honestly see that.
Yeah.
Gene doesn't think we'll see another Alpha this year. Interesting, like what they might wait.
I'd be 100% okay with that.
I'd be fine with that too. In fact, I'm not buying
another Alpha.
I think what they should have done is they should have just released one Alpha, and that was it. That's it. We didn't need two.
Yeah, we could. They should have just released a. To be honest with you, a Evercade branded alpha, like a kind
Yeah,
of
exactly,
a bunch of
exactly. That's what.
images and
Yes.
graphics on it. Because like
That's what I said from the beginning. That would have been nice. And then you could have different marquees to swap out. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's like right now I'm probably gonna sell one of my alphas because like I don't need to like probably get rid of the Mega Man one, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
Oh, why would you give up that one over the Street Fighter one?
Street Fighter was a gift.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
so you can't sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I never really look at the side of them anyway, so it's just a marquee that's important to me. So
Well, also, but you got the bezel, and the bezel, like I'm looking at the Mega Man one. No matter what game I'm playing, I'm looking at Mega Man characters.
yeah.
That's the only thing I don't like about that.
So if they
I
ever
would-
do put out an alpha generic, which I think they really should, with
Mhm.
Evercade branding, I'll sell all my alphas and get that one.
Yeah, I think I might would do that too, even if there are no built-in
So if you're
games on it.
listening, people's at the Evercade Blaze Entertainment, make a nice generic that you own 100% Evercade one, an alpha, and I think that will probably sell better any specific one you put out because you're segmenting people now, right? Like people, oh, I like like I think that one a lot of people would buy, but it's my
Yeah,
opinion.
they should have just released it with no games built in, but include at least one arcade cartridge with it.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I think
Or
this,
two,
I
or two
think
arcade-
because they have to pay royalties on every one that's an existing IP, right? Like it's kind of silly now that you think about it. I don't believe Ed we even paid attention to you when you said that back in the day, but you're absolutely right. If you did, that's the right
Yeah.
thing to do.
Yeah, I actually thought that the trailer. Remember when it showed like that Katie,
Yeah.
Alpha Kate? I thought that was going to be it, and then it got kicked off. No, because remember on Evercast, I asked Sean that. I said, "Did you guys think that you had to go with a brand like Street Fighter instead of releasing a generic one?" And he thought that they had to for sales. So maybe they know something. Maybe they know something we don't. But yeah, no, maybe they'll do that. So Okay, so I want to talk because what iHeart said. He said the highlight is a cop out, but a longtime fan. If you have these games, yeah. What do you guys think about the highlight of the month? Is it good? Is it bad? Do you not care?
I don't care because I already own every game that they're gonna put, or any possible game they could possibly put as highlight of the month, and so I can't see it actually. I know why they're doing it. I think they're doing it so every month they get people making videos on the highlight of the month. But I don't think that as many people are going to do it because these are games that they've probably already showcased before, at least if they've reviewed a cartridge or something.
Yeah, I think this is just for people who bought the product and trying to get them to buy another collection, right? By highlighting a game. I think that's what it's all about. People like this has no impact to anybody who's like been with this, like who's got most of the games. Like this is for people who just bought the system and might have one collection and a kind of a tease of what's out there. That's all I think this is really.
Yeah.
It also means that like an Indie Heroes 5 isn't going to come out anytime soon.
Yeah, unless they just release it like like you said, a collection without any pre-marketing or pre-tastes of it, which is okay. But I think that's the weirdest thing, right? There's more opportunity for Indie Heroes collection than probably anything else out there because there's a metric ton of indie games available.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Probably easier to get those licenses than say a Coleco collection or another. You know what I mean? Because you don't have to go.
I actually bought one that was pretty interesting the other day. What was it called? It was on sale. That's why I bought it. It was pretty cheap. Oh man.
People are saying
it was called Leap Year. It's called Leap Year. It's very weird. Remember that game, Boomerang Kid, where you couldn't like jump and you would die? It's kind of like that, except it's weirder than that. Because if you fall a certain distance, you'll die. But if you fall twice as far, instead of dying, you'll instead bounce off the ground and be fine.
That's annoying.
It's a very strange. I like it. It's like a platforming puzzle game.
Weird. People are saying we should get Sean back on. Yeah, dude, have Sean like DM one of us, like DM me on Discord or something. I'd love to have him back on.
Yeah. Or Ryan too.
Yes. Oh, we never got Amy. Yeah, it's like come on. But here's what I hope they do highlight of the month if they can with licensing. Like let's say when they announce like Neo Geo, right? How cool would it be for like a cart that's coming out the following month if they let us play like one or two games to kind of get like the hype going? Then I think this would work. Give people a little bit of a preview.
Well, that's not going to happen because they're not doing Game of the Month. They're doing Highlight of the Month.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping they would highlight the new games, but yeah, otherwise, yeah, I think you guys said it right for casuals. Not only that, I don't know why they picked Midnight Resistance because, in my opinion, this game is like the control scheme is so bad. I don't.
Well, they had to pick a game. They had to pick a game that wasn't on a legacy card. That's not a legacy card, is it? Because they would obviously still have to have the rights to offer it for free for a month. I don't know, like what licensing deals they have with other, I don't know if they'd be able to do that with like an Atari game,
Exactly. I think this might be the arcade. Yeah, it depends. But yeah, I was like, why showcase? The funny thing is, if you're watching the trailer, they said like game magazines gave the game like good reviews for its graphics, and they kind of mumbled something about the controls, which I thought was funny. But yeah, I don't know. So that's what else do we have? Yeah, I guess Broken Sword get multi-language support. I guess that's cool. Like a Blaze added that.
I think that's a must-have. I can't believe they weren't going to have that originally. I mean, geez whiz, like that's the thing, right? You want to maximize how many people buy your collection. Have it subtitles in the language, right?
Makes sense.
That wasn't in the game originally.
No, it wasn't in their release of the game.
Like the original PlayStation.
I don't know about that, but it wasn't in Evercade's original release of it was just going to be English only on the cart.
Hey, so we don't have Broken Sword yet, right?
No, mine should be here on Monday or Tuesday.
Okay. Well, see, I'm behind, so I don't know what is come out already.
No, this is the first new set of this year, right?
Yeah.
This is the first new set. Yeah, mine got shipped from VGP on Thursday of last week, so I should have Monday or Tuesday.
No matter when I get it, I won't play it till fall anyway, probably.
Yeah, but the point is, like, this is going to be a patch to the cart when you put it in to get the support.
Maybe to the console, because it says after applying the firmware update, when you start the game, it'll automatically set it to the language of your system. So this says firmware, hopefully it's not a cart patch, but
I just thought imagine reading that text on a Super Pocket.
No.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Super Pocket. My eyes are getting worse and worse as I get older, so I think the Super Pockets. It has to rock my world to get a new Super Pocket. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
They should release an accessory like they did for the original Game Boy, just like a magnifying glass that attaches on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why I kind of jokingly say for me, like Super Pockets are kind of like disposable Evercades. Like if you lose it, you're only out like $60. It's not like if you lost your special.
$60 is not not an insignificant amount of money to be out of. So I think Super Pockets are a little bit too expensive, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
For what they are, yeah, especially for the D-pad. But if they did something like the Neo Geo, Pocket, and then maybe I would have something like that to bring to work to play on my lunch break. Something that versus I don't want to actually bring a cart and risk losing. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, dip switches. Have you guys played with? I think we talked a little bit about this before the show. You guys played with this?
Yeah, I just messed around with.
I've been playing around with them every game.
On the Evercade Alpha, I wanted to check out what games had it, and it was based on a Mega Man one. All of them had it except for the Mega Man games. And then I just checked out Atari Arcade 1. Most of them had it on there. So, yeah, and then I was like, okay, that's interesting, and I moved on.
Yeah,
what's hilarious?
I've been messing around with them just to see there. I've actually been messing around with them before the show. So, but yeah, I've been having fun with them. Still,
it's really
the game's
cool.
Still hard. I've been just messing with putting them in easy mode, playing with the difficulty stuff. But there's nothing really outside of easy, more credits, more lives that you can really do. So, if you're looking for more than that, I mean, it's kind of no more than those settings so far that I've discovered. Nothing crazy like change certain modes or anything like that. None of that's on there.
No. A few shooters have invincibility, but yeah, that kind of defeats
the question.
Like Truxton, you can get complete God mode.
Did anybody mention anything about adjusting the dip switches and being able to play in competition mode? Are you allowed to do that?
Can't. No.
So you're just not allowed to access it once you change the dip switches?
I don't
You know
think
what? I didn't try it, but it said in the trailer that it would that playing in competition mode sets it back to defaults.
Okay, so if you select it must just automatically just go by the default dip switches, even if you change them. Okay.
I haven't tested that though, but that's what it said in the trailer. I'll have to test that tonight. What is cool? What's that? On Iron Collection. You know, the submarine game.
Oh, it's in the hunt. In the hunt.
Yeah. Putting that on easy is very fun because it's still challenging, but you don't die every 2 seconds.
How is that not an SNK game?
Oh, it's not an SNK. It was the game that
because it's like Metal Slug Submarine. I call it.
It's the same team that did Metal Slug did that game. They just happened to do it for Irem before moving on to SNK and doing Metal Slug.
Hey, is that the real Ryan? If it is, hi, dude. It's Ryan. I think so.
Ryan. You've been summoned.
Yeah. But no, I was happy with this. I said, of course, like Bad Dudes, I really I wanted to try to put that on easy to see how far I could get, like with one continue. But other than that,
I'm liking the dip switches for sure. Yes. Like I have no problem with them.
Yes, you know what's hilarious? Because Gene was like for Saint Dragon. I think what is it on Jellicoe or Irem? Like go to the dip switches. Its default difficulty is hard. There's no easy for that game. It's like hard, harder, hardest. So it's
that's probably all they listed in the manual as when they're explaining the position of the dip switches in the manual. They probably said, "Oh, hard, harder, hardest," and so they just translated that into the. That's probably exactly what it says in main too when you adjust the dip switches.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Rodland, you can start from the second part of the game, so. It is cool for to do.
You could do that. You could do that without the dip switches too. I guess that the dip switches just make it easier to do that.
Yeah. But I think it's pretty neat. It adds a little bit more, replay value, especially for some of the shooters. Like I like being able to switch it to difficult, like put it on easy because you kind of feel like you get to play it on the difficulty for the console mode, but you get the you get
do all the games have dip switches?
No. There's some that don't.
Like Bad Dudes.
Either they're not implemented or there were never dip switches to begin with.
I just think they weren't implemented. I'm probably the only person that cares that there would be dip switches for Bad Dudes. So, but yeah, I think it's neat. We've been wanting this for a long time, and I'm glad at least before the Neo Geo arcade cards come out.
No, it's really cool. I'm having a blast just checking them out. I don't even know back in the day did arcade machines have like dip switches for to add modes or levels or stuff like that?
Well, yeah.
Yes. Because
so are we getting any of those types of dip switches
to add a level? I don't know about that.
Or like a character or something like that, right? I don't know if that existed back in the day. So
maybe Mortal Kombat, but yeah, I do know that for some games, what do they call it? They had like time, like a mode like timekeeping where you could see like what your average like quarter per minute, and so the operator could decide just to put it like something on hard just to make more money.
Oh yeah,
kind of disgusting, but yeah, we never knew that back in the day.
That's how they had to pay their electrical bill, right? Imagine.
Well, they got to make money. That's
they got to make money, right? So
that's the only reason they're letting you play the game, so they can make money.
Yeah, custom dip switches applied. So yeah, I think that's neat that it.
Yeah, I wish we had that setting back in the arcade before you boot it up. Custom dip switches.
Now, here's the one thing that is really annoying, and I don't know if they can fix it. Let's say you do 1 credit limit and you start a game and you die like right away, and you're like, or you wanted to restart. If you restart, it doesn't reset that, so you have to quit out of the game. I'm like, man, because I like my buttons weren't right, and I was like, God damn it. But that's kind of just a minor annoyance.
So you're complaining
sounds like a problem there.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not a big deal. You activate a save state, you go back, you change the buttons, and then you reload the save state, and you're good. It's not an issue.
Yeah, lately though, it's like for arcade games, it's kind of for arcade games, so okay. If it's just I want to like beat the game, yes, but sometimes I go into the mode where I don't want to use save states, and I just kind of want to experience. I don't know. I go back and forth.
Well, for some reason, I don't know if it's just me, but before I play any game, the first thing I do is I check out the controls, and I change them before I start playing the game. Usually, most of the time.
I sometimes do that. Oh, what did Ryan have to say? The team went through every arcade game manually, set and tested dip switches. Redundant dip switches were removed. If games didn't have dip switches because they had redundant.
That makes sense because it took a long while for us to get this, and it's still beta, right? So
Yeah. There's still a bunch of them, different language settings. Wow, 100. Cool. Well,
I wonder will any competitive YouTubers and people gravitate now because they can set stuff to very hard in the arcade and try to do runs.
You
That'd
mean,
be nice.
well, here's the thing: is like I don't know if you're talking about somebody that's using MAME will transfer over to the Evercade.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
But that's not going to happen because you already got the dip switch settings in MAME. So
yeah, I know. I'm just asking a question. I don't know much about that community, right? Like,
yeah, that's a valid point. Or like maybe if like I'm like speed running or something, if there's like a category for Evercade or hard or whatever. But oh, hey Rob, thanks for the $2 super chat. Oh, and the update fixed tennis on Pico Arcade. The ball shows up now. Woohoo!
what? My favorite tennis game? It works?
Yeah, your favorite tennis game is fixed.
Woohoo! It's not really, but Super Tennis is better than that. But I will take it.
Yeah, I'm glad to know, Ryan, that you all are working on it. Okay, so there's not that many. No, I was gonna say minor request. Like I was gonna say, and like, while you all do implement the dip switches for bad dudes, like, and maybe I guess it's the wrong like fix the text at the end. I don't know. And even if you don't,
it's the text. That's what the game is.
Yeah.
No, remember like the ending of Bad Dudes, like all that text was like cut out for some reason because of the ROM, and you just like it's just like music like there for like a minute. And
that's not going to be. Look, if they didn't fix ashtrays, they're not going to fix that.
I know.
Yeah, we still got the wrong Metroid.
That would be a totally different ROM. Because that's the same ROM that's in the arcade 1-up.
But look, most everything got dip switches, so yeah.
I'd say most of the majority of the arcade games seem to have gotten dip switches.
Yeah, I just wanted to see like if I did like Bad Dudes on easy, like how far I could get. Make it more like the console, version. But yeah, let's see. If you've applied, yeah, you can reset. You can reset all the dip switches.
I love having invulnerability in a shoot 'em up. It's making my gaming experience a lot more fun. I'm such a
I guess for some case, so like for instance, when you play R-Type, I was disappointed to find out there wasn't an easy mode, but I guess that was never in the original arcade game, and that's why we didn't see it.
Yeah, it's only what was available in the actual machine. These aren't Game Genie cheats that you can.
Yeah. Oh, so apparently Rally Bike, there's on stage 4 or 5. There's a jump where didn't know that.
Yeah, but I think I'm pretty happy that they decided to implement this. It's pretty cool, like for me. So
it is. I guess what's the saying? Better late than never. I'm glad that the alpha forced this, but I do. If you compare to all like a lot of other products that are out there, it did take them too long to do this, but at least it's here, right?
I mean, can anybody know if does Arcade 1-up even offer dip switch settings in their games? Because the ones I have don't. Don't.
I know at some point some of the newer ones, only because some YouTubers like they'll briefly go over like the set. They're very minor. Like I think it's just like the difficulty, and you can change like similar to these settings.
Okay, so it's probably are the actual dip switch settings that for those games. Because I have the first 7 of them, no, first 6 of them for sure, and the Burger Time one, and none of those have dip switch settings as an option.
Yeah, it's funny. No, I only compare it to what I always say. Like, Evercade is in competition with free, like MAME and the stuff that already has those settings. So that's all. I'm glad that it's here. But it's like when you're paying for a platform like this, we just expect normal features to be in free software. But at the same time, I understand they can't have everything. The one thing I do like about this, like unlike MAME or something, like you can't break it so far. You know what I mean? Like you can toggle the settings and it won't like break anything.
How would you break it in MAME?
Well,
just by toggling the settings, because I think it would be the same.
I think because like when you go in there and hit tab, like there's like if you go under inputs, like like in like remap keys, you can lock yourself. You can do not that I've ever done. You can kind of do like stupid stuff and then edit a text file or
The only thing I can think of is if there's some diff switch setting that you're not supposed to set, and they offered it as an option in main, and it breaks the game until you switch it back. The only thing I can think of is like in the for the Evercade version, they just wouldn't offer that setting.
Exactly. Yeah, and I was going to say on the Gale, because I know someone's going to ask on the Gale Code collection for all the pervs that are out there on glass. No, there's not like a nude dip switch. Sorry. I know that's probably a different ROM, but I'm sure somebody.
No, it's a totally different ROM. There's actually two other ROMs of that game because I've seen. If you look up gameplay of that game on YouTube, there are like alternate pictures other than the ones we got.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
yes, but this is a great step in the right direction. I'm glad it's here, and I hope that over time, I think as newer arcade games get released, I'm thinking they should have dip switches, right? Once this gets out of beta, like that should be a thing.
Oh yeah, I think that if there's dip switch settings that are available for those games that come out, that they're going to be there. I think that's a given.
Does Asteroids have a dip switch to remove the background? I don't know.
No. I looked. That was one of the ones I checked. There definitely wasn't a dip switch to remove the background. But I know of a way to remove the background. You have to modify the files on the cartridge, though. You just delete the background file.
There you go. I don't think it's unique, but it's it's like the PG-13 version of it. And actually, I think if I remember right, like a long time ago when they bought the licensing, they didn't I think Sean said they didn't know that until they did more play testing, and then they had to get like a different version of the ROM or something like that.
Yeah, I think that is a custom version with those pictures because I haven't seen anybody playing it online that had like an arcade version of it that had those pictures.
Well, there you go.
What I think is funny is did anybody play it with the male setting? The pictures you get on that.
Yeah, I did that the second time when I beat the game. It's one of those weird, fun, quirky games. I played that on hard last night, and actually did make it. No pun intended. Actually did make a little bit of a difference. But yeah, this is again. I'm happy that they did this. It added replayability to some arcade cards, and you can do different things, and all, and all that. What else? Yeah, some people have broken sword or like Indie Heroes 4 in their hands. Sadly, I don't think any of us are one of them yet.
Why is that sadly? That's good for them.
No, I mean in our hands, yeah. Like because I want to play. I do like this. I like this picture in the backdrop.
You're never gonna be one of the first people that get them first. Like unless they send it to you in advance. Like, because everybody in the Europe seems to get their cartridges before us. Like, we'll get it on the day of release, but everybody else over there gets it before that.
Yeah, and I don't want to like through Video Games Plus. If you pay for like their $5 so ship, you might get it like actually on the day, but then that kind of defeats some of the purpose of it. So if I paid more for shipping, I would. But.
Yeah, I don't think you should do that because still got to go through U.S. Customs, right?
Exactly.
Oh, they might have a shipper. They might have a place in Maine actually, or New York that ships American stuff for them. They might have a warehouse there. I think they do actually. So they might be shipping directly from there, but you still have to wait for them to get the stuff in from Europe, right?
Yeah, that's cool. Indie Heroes 4 is a QR code to get a PC and phone wallpaper. They should do more of that. Actually, I'm kind of surprised we never saw more.
I love how Super Burger Time still haven't fixed how janky trying to get on the ladders are from the original.
That game's fun.
So, are you saying that that it's like that in the arcade version, and they need to fix that, or are you saying that it's worse than it is in the arcade version?
I don't remember playing this in the arcade actually, Super Burger Time. So sorry, but I still find that the arcade version of Burger Time has got jank ladders in every version.
They're not jank. They work perfectly fine.
No, they do not. Whatever. Obviously, you haven't played it enough on NES and stuff like that.
Well, NES version is notorious for how difficult it is.
Yeah,
But
it's not better it's not better on other consoles. Just saying. Ooh, the hot dog. See, like this, what annoyed me about this? They added hot dogs to Burger Time, and I'm like, hot dog is not a burger; it's a sandwich.
well, yeah, that's the one thing that's weird thing that's about I mean, they're in the original Burger Time, the hot dogs.
Yeah.
But like all the rest of them, I could see as toppings for burgers. But I've never heard of anybody putting a hot dog on a burger.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you know what? Gene says try it on Alpha Pete. Yeah, I'd be curious. If
Yeah, that's what I'm
on
saying. I should have said that. I think the arcade stick is going to be so much better. So I will.
Actually, the only way it would actually be better, I think, is if you replace the gate with a 4-way gate, like what was in the arcade.
Right, you're
So you
right.
could-
Instead of an 8-way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the default gate that is in there isn't going to work very well for Burger Time because it is a square. It is a square gate, but you would actually need to rotate it, and I don't know if you can do that with what's in there. So like when you push the controller right, left, up, or down, you're not pushing it into a corner. It's like the flat edge, and I think that makes it a little bit harder.
I do like the fact that in this one you can jump onto a ladder, which is really cool. Like it's a lot easier to do that, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I really like this game because I'm
going to play on Alpha. Give me a reason to play my Alpha. Actually, I'm going to do that after.
Here's the thing: is I remember playing the arcade version of this, and not really. I was like, "Oh, this is weird," and jumping up and down on the pieces, and I was like, "I think I prefer regular Burger Time."
Yeah, I like the graphics on this one. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that
it's easier.
I'm playing it on my D-pad, right? So,
you know what they should give us? They give us 2 versions of Burger Time so far. They need to give us Burger Time Deluxe
or Diner.
No, Burger Time Deluxe is the best version of Burger Time.
Oh wait, I don't know. Oh yeah, from the Switch?
No, for Game Boy.
Oh, okay. I haven't played that. I'm gonna have to try to play that.
It actually has a story.
Have you played Diner?
Yeah, I played Diner. I didn't like it that much.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think we may have a Gandalf backstage. So
no Gandalfs.
Whatever he was, he could.
Yeah, it's his.
Come on,
get in here, buddy.
I was thinking of adding you, but I wasn't sure if you were ready. So
that's all good.
He was born ready.
Yeah, just hanging in and take care of a couple things.
I'm making hot dog and hamburgers, which is so stupid.
We're just talking about like dip switches and the highlight of the month, and the new updates and.
Yeah, man. So how did everyone feel?
I actually really like this dip switch thing. It's making me enjoy the games more because I can have endless credits and stuff like that. I'm loving this. Well done.
Yeah, the dip switch thing is it's been something that people have been waiting for a really long time. So
I wasn't, but now I can see why.
Yeah, I'm glad that it is available. So,
but you already had infinite credits.
Not some games you don't.
You would have had to watch me stream.
You could keep inserting the coin.
No, some you don't. It maxes out.
Well, then when you use a credit, you insert another one.
Oh, like Snow Bros? Yes. Well,
I don't like how they stuff peas at me. Like shoot peas at me. These snap peas.
Shoot peas.
That's cool though. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting that highlight of the month is a thing now instead of the game of the month featuring the new Indie Heroes cart. I'm wondering if it was that they either got feedback or looked at their sales and like perhaps game of the month was hurting overall sales of the cart.
Probably that makes sense actually.
Yeah. But here's the thing though, because that I don't like about highlight of the month is that like when I did videos on even game of the month, it was like people didn't really care about that because they already had an Evercade. They could play the game. Like it was like the least viewed.
Yeah.
So it was like,
I mean, I guess like for like a content creation's perspective, I mean that hurts a little bit. But on a community perspective though, on the other side of the coin for highlight of the month, that does mean that everyone that elects to update their Evercade device at the same time has access to the same game at the same time. So in a community sense, you could do a high score challenge, and then ensure that everyone would have that game. So like it wouldn't just be collectors like us that has every game. You'd be like, okay, we're gonna do a high score challenge on Midnight Resistance because this is the first game of the month, or the first highlight of the month, I should say. You know, we're to do a challenge for 2 weeks starting in a week. So make sure you update. Give everybody a week to update, and then just go to town. In a 2-week challenge.
See, that's that's neat. Or I think we kind of said earlier that it's for casuals, people who don't have all the games and they want to be able to explore. What I was hoping they would do is before a cart comes out, if they would be allowed to highlight that game before, it's like the Neo Geo collection is coming out this month. Let's everybody play this one game to raise hype.
Well, you never know. That could be a thing. They said that they were going to explore older things in the catalog in that first video. Sean did because I watched the video, and that seemed to be their indication that they were going to go deep in the catalog to say hey, you might have missed this one, so go back and check out this cool game. But there's nothing to say that a couple months from now, when SNK or whatever is coming up, then that they couldn't just be like, oh hey, here's this game. This is a game that on a cart you can pre-order right now. We're going to highlight this one in ROM. They could totally do that.
You know what I would love to see? I would love to see highlight of the month change into challenge of the month. Imagine if they took a ROM, they could customize it hey, it's this difficulty, you have one life or whatever, and then they can make it for that month, make a specific challenge, and at the end you scan a QR code and put in your initials. Or
see, that would be kind of cool. And if it was embedded inside the system, then everyone has access to it. That would be really cool. That would be neat. Yeah. And
then it would minimize cheating, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, but you could always say, because can you turn on competition mode on any ROM, or is it only stuff that was in arcade?
No, you can do it for anything, but they could do it for anything, but they could automatically set that.
Yeah. Well, but you could say, I mean, there's the indicator, in your footage, as you're submitting times, you're going to see the trophy in the corner. So, if it wasn't there, then that's it.
What you're talking about is exactly what they do on Anstream.
Yes.
Yeah. Gene says they could. Yeah.
Yeah, but you never know, though. It's a thing that is very, very possible. So yeah, I'm sad to see the hype, because I really like playing some of those indie games, and during the Fun for 5 and the week after the Fun for 5 goes up, when I do my thing for the Indie Heroes games, there are times where I just keep going back and playing, and then I'll forget about it, and then be like, oh yeah, that's right, Indie Heroes is going to come out, so we'll play them all over again. So I did like that cycle, but we'll see what happens this month. They started out with a pretty good one though. Midnight Resistance is a great game. So,
except for the controls, that was my only thing. I'm like, I hate the
controls being bad.
Well, which one did they gave the
arcade version? I think, right?
Is it the arcade version?
I would think, since the other Data East is Legacy, but
is it?
I thought it was.
I thought they were giving us the console version of Midnight Resistance.
Maybe it's not Legacy.
Let me see. Well, let's find out.
Yeah.
Let's go to
the console one. I think the
fun.
controls were slightly. It's a Mega Drive version. Yeah, the controls were slightly better than the arcade.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the arcade version of Midnight Resistance.
Oh, it's not Legacy. Yeah. Okay, I don't know why I was thinking it was. Okay,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know about that.
That's good to know.
Data East in stock. Good to go.
But yeah, I like that version. I was kind of disappointed by the arcade like that. I found it to be a little bit better. No, I just wish it had controls like Contra. Then that game, normal D-pad controls, and that game would be excellent.
Well, were you playing with a controller or an arcade stick?
With a controller, but it's weird. You have to constantly have it shoot. It doesn't have normal.
I don't know, because I haven't played it yet.
The way the buttons, it's not like your traditional run and gun. The way the buttons are mapped are really weird. You always have to be shooting. The way that you duck and all that, it's just
I'm just saying that was meant to be played on an arcade machine with an arcade stick. So
there are ways that you can lock that in, though.
You can make it a little bit.
You can lock the direction in which you're shooting.
Yeah.
And then do whatever, and then hit a button, and then it unlocks, and then hold it again, and then it locks it in a different direction.
Yeah, it makes it better. It's like if you've ever played like the Game Boy version of Robotron, where it only has two. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it only has two buttons, where it's like it's playable, but it's not. But it's a little more difficult. Well, there's other control. There's other control methods. This is what this is the burger. Well, Data East 2 Burger Time.
Super Burger Time.
Super Burger Time. Yeah, duh. We just said it a few minutes ago. I should have known. That's what it is, Adam. Super Burger Time. But
sweet, man.
But yeah, we just been talking about that. Earlier we did polls, and the majority of people thought like in that we're gonna get like Neo Geo everything, like carts, skin consoles, alphas, pockets.
Yeah, I mean that's on a 2-year deal. That's probably gonna happen. You know, and then,
although it was interesting. Gene said he doesn't think we'll see an alpha this year. That maybe next year.
And I think it's possible that they kind of like take a year off or whatever, but you never know. I think it all depends on stock levels.
Yeah,
they blew out a whole bunch of them. They don't have enough spare cases to create a new one. Rather than pull a new line, they might wait so that way hype can die down a little.
Yeah, I think the more Evercade alphas they release, I think that they're just going to be diminishing returns on it. I don't think people have bought, like, even the first two aren't going to keep going back and keep buying them again and again and again.
Right.
That's true. Like everybody pretty much who wants one has one. Yeah. Although I will say when they had those special, like when they had the deluxe editions, those sold out like really quickly.
Yeah, they sold out so fast that even I couldn't get in there, that's uncommon because I'm usually all over it. And I had decided that desk space at the end of the desk in Studio B was going to be a place where one of those was going to live. And they went right out. And I'm like, all right, well, guess I'm waiting for whatever the next one is.
Huh.
The 64 version? Oh, that's cool.
I probably would, dude, if the controls are normal. Like if the controls are like Contra, I would. Oh, thank you, Adam.
Thanks, man.
To your channel, so they subbed to all of us. Cool. We appreciate it.
Very cool, man.
I am not appreciative of that at all.
Pete's like, no.
I am the.
That's awesome. I like to see more people like global from different parts of the world watching us. That's awesome. Yeah, more like Contra.
Yes, it's very cool.
Yeah, I probably would. I probably would like that.
Yeah.
The other thing we were talking about too, like when do you think we'll get like our first SNK cards? Like, am I being too optimistic saying April? Do you think it'll more be July?
Oh no way. So they're going to make the announcement in March about what's going to happen, but I'm imagining this is going to be that showcase video, and it won't be until the end. Like we're talking August, September, October, November.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's when SNK is going to come.
August at the earliest. That's what I'm thinking.
Why do you think they would wait that late? Like if the deals are done, the cards are done. Like why? Like why?
Because in this showcase they're gonna showcase a piece of hardware, and hardware always takes longer.
So it's once again the hardware holding back the games.
Well, it's not really the hardware holding back the games. It's just that's how these licensing deals go. Like every single time there was like a big thing. Duke was announced in June, May, didn't come out till November. When they announced the existence of the EXP and the VS, that was June, didn't come out till November or later. It's the whole thing. It's the classic like E3 thing, right? Like that late April, early May, or June-ish time frame, you announce your thing that's going to be the big holiday seller, so that traditionally it was because then the resellers had time enough to put in their orders for the holiday stock. I mean, things don't necessarily work like that anymore, which is the reason why E3 doesn't really exist to the extent that it did. But that's still like a classic. That's a classic announcement schedule. So I wouldn't expect anything different. I'd be pleasantly surprised if they're like, hey, here's all the SNK stuff, and oh, by the way, in the next cart set, you'll get one of the carts, and then that would be an SNK kind of thing. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, no, I would imagine that would be a thing.
You also have to remember that whatever date they announce, you're gonna have to just estimate that it's going to be delayed at least 1 month.
Yeah.
So if they say the end of August, don't expect it until the end of September.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate that they have those things, but
you need time to build. Dude, the hype is already built. But yeah.
This was interesting though that they announced the fact that they were doing this deal, did the press release that they were doing the deal, and then are now waiting nearly 4 months from the date of the announcement to do the announcement of what the product line is. That's very interesting. That is uncommon. Now
that's what I'm saying. Like,
could that uncommon nature translate to, hey, we did it. We are working on all that stuff in the background, and here we go. But I don't think so, because I think they need the pre-order numbers to determine what their batches are. That seems to be the case with them. So like, it won't be until a month after they do the actual announcement where they have like a fun stock SKU where we're going to know exactly when things are supposed to be coming out, or at least a window of when things were coming out. I wouldn't be surprised though if the hardware was coming out in this announcement where they just announced not a date but just like fall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
no, I was just
and that would be a smart move. You don't have to put a date on it. You can just be like, hey, it's coming out in the fall.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Pre-order.
I think they should do more of that. But I was thinking we'd get at least one cart with something else, and then they'd space out the other 2 or 3.
Yeah. I mean, and who knows? Like that's my main. This is the whole this is why you watch an opinion show, right? My opinion is I think they're going to do more traditional things, but I hope I'm wrong, because that way we can get stuff early and then have some cool SNK awesomeness and all that kind of stuff. Not that I'm not looking forward to all the other carts. I'm getting pretty hype about the first couple batches here. So and in fact, I don't know if anyone else has talked about any of that. Did anyone else get their shipping notifications?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm not. I'll get it, and then I'll be like, okay, I'll play you at the end of the year, probably.
I'll get it.
No, I was pretty happy to see that my shop app was like, oh, hey, your stuff is in America. And I'm like, yeah.
Right.
So I should be able to get it actually on release day. So they said
when 10th. Is release day anyway? I don't even
know. The 10th is supposed to be the release day for the next batch, 310.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
And it should arrive at my house at 310. So I'll be very excited to do the unboxing. That's the one it's the bundle with the Katie. So we got a stuffed Katie to throw around. It'll be very cool.
Oh, yeah.
I just got it has nothing to do with Evercade or anything, but I just also got a stuffed The Cheat.
I have the strong bag.
Nice. I gave it to my wife last night, and she was like super happy to see it. It's like, you got the cheat. And I was like, yeah, it's for you. And then we couldn't figure out how to make the voice work, because it has like a voice box inside it.
Yeah. Where do you have to push it though?
You have to actually take it out of the zipped thing.
Oh, and then pull the thing.
You have to pull the pin, but you then press and hold it to activate it, and then it works. It's great. It makes all sorts of fun noises. I wish Katie had a voice box. That'd be fantastic. It would be very dangerous though, because I would never, ever, ever stop hitting the Katie on any Evercade video. It would just be me hitting the Katie over and over again.
I don't remember where to. I thought it was his glove.
Like, hi, I'm Katie. I don't know.
Oh wait.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was whatever it would say.
Buy Evercade. Evercade is cool. I don't know. Oh god.
Everybody to the limit. Everybody to the limit. Everybody come up over, guys.
What are you guys doing?
The cheat is to the limit. Oh man, that's so good.
Looks like.
That's hilarious. It's fun times. So And then next month is the April drop is the
Hey, it's the eagle from Popeye.
oh yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So the April drop is the other dual cart with Tomb Raider 2, Collection 2, I should say,
I
and
get my super jump.
whatchamacallit.
Oh, mother.
And Atari too. Yeah.
Yeah, in Atari Arcade 2, yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. So that that's what you're gonna get in April. So in the end of this month is the pre-order window, or the pre-order window for whatever the showcase is going to be at the end of this month. They said it was going to be the end of this month, right? The showcase.
Yes.
Yeah. So showcase at the end of this month for and this is definitely SNK. So we'll get to know what's going on with that. And then I bet you in the middle of the showcase, just like they did with the Duke showcase, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's other cards coming out. So here, you can pre-order these now. And then that'll be the June set or the May set or whatever. So they said there's 15. So first two are arriving in March. Second two arrive in April. So that's 4. And how do you get to the end of the month and get to 15? Unless they count January and February as that. Heck yeah, we got fun times.
Right. I hope they continue to update their roadmaps, because I really like that. Because it makes like a great discussion point. You can put it on the screen. Because it's like they start to do good, and then they don't update them, and then I know, like, at least if they have the format, we can update them. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think during the showcase you probably see that would be a thing, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
You'd put it up there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, Morley.
Good times.
Yes. Fun times and good times also had. It's very cool. Speaking of those things, I'm gonna go over here. Is anyone into text adventures?
Not since 1979.
I don't know. Does Leisure Suit Larry count as a text adventure?
I guess so. We could.
Isn't that just writing something on Word? Like, isn't that just part of what we do is work?
Yeah. Well, I've found that Atari has created a text adventure inside of their Discord.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh, good lord.
Interesting.
So I've been every once in a while.
That's the audience to go after.
I just hit the button and I go do 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 do. It's
so
like
nothing in May? No, we'll have cards.
Nothing in May. Yeah, nothing released in May. I would, unless there is a double cart. I mean, we could do the math on it, right? So if they mean that 15 carts are going to release in the year 2025, and they don't count January and February, and I say they're going to release them in doubles, right? That's 7 months plus 1, so technically 8 months that they have to release their entire window. So that's a release every month.
Yeah.
If they go to the end of 2025 and mean December 31st, 2025. So it's interesting.
That's what I was thinking. That they would have to do.
So then there would be something in May, because then there'd have to be a drop every month in order to get there. So yeah, man. So but yeah, so I think though that we're gonna get all of the things in the in that release, in the showcase. We'll get the timeline, we'll get the what an SNK product looks like, at least. We'll get to pre-order one of those things. And then I think they're gonna also do the next double cart has nothing to do with SNK, that also gets released in that same thing. You're gonna be able to pre-order that, and that will come out before the SNK thing does.
Ooh.
So there we go. If we're putting on our retro Damas hats, that's what I say.
Retro Damas, I love it.
That's what I say happens. So
No, it's a good prediction.
but
Those sort of games. All right. Well, are we at that point, or final thoughts? I guess.
yeah,
Yes, we are.
we can do
Busy
that.
day ahead. I'm gonna go play some more Dip Switch games.
Nice.
That's pretty fun. So
Yeah. I'm gonna record the video where I do the update, and then play some Dip Switch games.
Cool.
Nice.
What's going? I'll go first on the channel. Just let you know, I dropped a new early access video on the channel called Dragonkin. It's kind of an interesting Path of Exiles meets Diablo, but I'm having a blast playing it. It's super fun, and you get to raise a little dragon as you're going around the world too. So it's it's pretty cool. It's an early access. It's a fun game. So check out that video on the channel. But other than that, yeah, just having fun.
Very cool.
Sweet.
Well, for me, I'm going to be doing a lot of catch up on videos. There's so many things. I still have to play the games on the Polymega for the 2 Polymega collections that came out. I have to then also do the instruction that was laid out by a Polymega employee on my video, which is to take the DVD and put it inside a computer and find out what happens. So that's another video we're gonna do. We're gonna see what happens when you put the Polymega DVD inside a computer. There's 2 games that are out on VCS that I haven't done Fun for Fives for, so I got to go back and do those. Then of course the Evercade stuff that we just talked about, the Dip Switch stuff, and some of the news that came out with some of the other things that were being talked about on Twitter and all that stuff.
You're the busiest man on YouTube, man.
It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, so we're gonna do all sorts of crazy stuff and get that. Plus, I still have a video project that I've been like collecting things for and writing notes about, but haven't done yet. Which is an investigation of the GameStop retro scene. I'm probably going to be the only one out there that actually took 6 solid months of visits to the GameStop retro stores to actually see the trend lines as to whether or not it's a good fit for people looking for retro. And people might want to check it out. I don't know. So that's it. Oh no, I'm also working on some other fun things because I found. I think Gene. Yeah, Gene's still here. I think I found the secrets of the musics. And some things might be coming out on my side of the channel in that vein. So keep a lookout for that too.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. That'll be curious to see what your findings were for GameStop.
Yeah, man.
And what do you got going on, Crow?
Earlier this week, I put out a video. I finally gotten to go play that Evil Dead pinball machine. So on my main channel, I put out a 10-minute video, but for whatever reason on my Crow Capture channel, I put out I just released all the footage I took while I was there, which was like about an hour and 15 minutes. So you get to see me playing it for an hour and 15 minutes if you want. But yeah, so that was fun. But Zaccaria Pinball put out another new table. Actually, I think they put out 2 more maybe. So I've got to make videos on those. I already have videos made for all the retro tables, and those are going to be scheduled 2 a week. So I got videos 2 a week at least till like 8 May or something. I don't remember. So that's what's going on there.
Nice. Very cool. And tonight, later tonight, I'll be here streaming. I might do more Dip Switch testing. That was a lot of fun. Then, the new carts next week. Hopefully get those by midweek and do my first impressions on that. So
nice, man.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching us. And I always say, if you happen to stumble here to the YouTube verse, please consider subscribing to all our channels if you like what you saw here, so you can be informed of all the cool things that we just talked about. So yeah, we'll go ahead and end it here, and bye-bye.
See you guys.
Later, Gators.
Thanks, Crotchline, Mr. Shua, Immortal Sojourn, Amber Cummings, Joe Whitlash, Dan Nestick.